Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. Although on the technicals, not even on the lower time frames, I'm not seeing any sign of reversal yet. We don't have any breakout, not even on the first line of defense in here. On the liquidity pools together with the bid liquidity and the delta, we are seeing some positive signs. We need to balance things out, put all the elements on the table, and start assessing the possibility of seeing a reversal between where we are, potentially leaving the people wanting to enter at this area, just wishing to buy at those lower prices, or if we're gonna actually go and hit that and give them the chance to enter at this area that is currently the point of control. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I put out one of these videos. Yesterday it was a very busy day with 4 videos out, starting with the pullback in Monday Open, then the live stream covering the moment where we were breaking down, closing the evening with what to expect next, and also as a guest reviewing altcoins with Paul Baron. You can find the video in here, which by now has 31,000 views, and I was reading the comments that you guys left. Thanks so much for all your support and appreciation. Please remember that tonight update is not going to come in this channel, the Trading Parrot. It's gonna go to the Coin Bureau trading channel. So make sure that you are subscribed there, activating the notification bell. I publish 3 of my videos every week in that channel. People were asking me, why are you not doing a Black Friday? And I am. Actually, the top link in the description contains all these links, which is my cherry pick selection of the best deals of Black Friday in all crypto. TradingView, 70%. In my opinion, TradingView is a must. I cannot live half an hour without TradingView. Trading Different for the liquidity pools. The Trading Parrot, you get 100 different indicators, access to a community on Discord. You no longer get to copy my bots, copying the parameters, because that spoils the alpha. Of course, if you do want to copy my bots, now you have to use also the link in the description, copy trading bots. These are black box bots. The alpha is protected under 10 keys to make sure that it continues to perform. High Block Capital, Gainium, already 3 commas, all the trading platforms are offering amazing discounts. And on this post on Twitter, I'm giving away 1 year of premium TradingView. That's gonna give you access to all the alerts. Find this tweet on my tweet line and make sure that you follow the instructions. All right, let's do a very quick wrap up of where are we. Open interest has hit the golden ratio of 1.618, and it's incredible because when we were at roughly $30 billion, I started thinking, what if we do an extension on the Fibonacci in here from top to bottom, and we may get lucky and hit the final target of the open interest where we see the first pullback. So far, it's been 1 week that we are respecting that level. It's forming a bull flag, so it could break as well. But it's good to see that we nail the moves of the market doing TA on the open interest as well. Notice that the aggregated spot, as we mentioned yesterday, hasn't had the rally that we had from December 2023 into March 2024. Instead, after it hit the high, it started printing lows. This means that spot it is selling, and not just selling from anywhere. It's been selling without having almost any rally to the upside. I explained that ETFs are currently compensating the lack of interest in buying spot BTC. But yesterday there were outflows on the ETFs, very small, 450. It's only undoing the positive effect of 1 day, the day before, and not really affecting yet that much the parabolic move. This could be just the 3rd time that we have a small pullback, a bull flag, and then continuation. Impossible to tell. So if you watch some of my videos yesterday, I don't expect you to watch them all. That was a little bit insane. You know that crossing the red line is the signal that I am looking for to start thinking that we have a reversal confirmed. Before that happens, I am paying attention for any sort of bottom formation within this area. What I'm not liking is that we have already broken the support from October, beginning of October. That means that we have taken more than just a single bullet. This move from top to bottom has been a lot more intense than this one that we have at the end of October into beginning of November. That is just comparing the fact that we have broken below the trend line that we define at that low. We have pinched the statistic level in here of the percentile nearest rank. We talk about that 34. Indeed, we went to 33, so just one level beyond that. And at the moment, we are putting a higher low, but we haven't even managed yet to re-enter in the range that we just lost. So thinking about the red line is a bit too early. But if we were to go straight into the red line, that could take something between 1 to 3 days, possibly, just to have some expectations. And the megaphone pattern that we were observing for 8 months had a completely different outcome, as you can see in here. And that is thanks to the RSI losing this line and being rejected by the red line. And when I'm telling you I don't do anything if I'm not above the red line, you can see why I don't do it. People trade the price, and entering right here at the bottom of the megaphone pattern could have caused you to hit the stop loss. But trading the RSI will have told you last night that we were below closing a candle the support. So that was telling you the support got broken by a very small fraction, but giving you a poke in the shoulder telling you, do you really want a long when we just lost the support? And that is, I think, a great hint coming from the RSI that everybody hates. Let's look at the daily, because I have fresh new alpha to share in here. Here we have the megaphone pattern that we spent 8 months tracking. We broke out, we retested, and we went parabolic. And I have placed from the moment we break out above and confirm this parabolic move of 47%, I have moved the volume profile. The volume profile is gonna tell us where is the area most traded in this whole range, and it's also gonna tell us where is our trading range new. Some of you that are experts on this might be thinking, why are you using the volume profile in here if we are in the middle of an uptrend? How do you know that we should be looking for sideways, that we should be looking for a new channel horizontal and start trading the extremes? And the answer is, I don't know. If we find a big bounce in here on the point of control and we stay on the top half, we are bullish. If we start breaking below the point of control, according to the volume, we start entering in a deeper correction. The top of the range of this is 81K. So as long as we remain here, we could be going sideways. And if we break that 81K, we could have an extreme correction relative to what we should be expecting at this time in the season of Bitcoin. So those are the lines more important. And we are very close to 91K. And I'm hoping that that is going to hold. We now have a market cipher daily sell signal, which comes from divergences and is in line with what the Hive told us days ago when we were still at almost 98K, which is we are heading towards 90K. The daily say that, and the 4-hour action has been miserable against even the first line of defense of the shorts, meaning that the shorts have managed to not allow the RSI win a single small victory so far. And because of that, it gave room for the daily to expand towards the downside and just be 2K away from completing the full target to 90K according to the Hive, now supported by Market Cipher and with some sort of confluence with the point of control coming from the volume, which is this area in here. When it comes to the daily RSI, we were not wrong thinking that this is a channel to the downside. Indeed, is progressing at a very fast speed. From this low of 74, it has now done a deeper move, 10 points lower into 64, and now we have our channel. This is our channel, ladies and gentlemen, the channel and the Trading Parrot audience. It's a pretty wide channel, and I'm still unsure whether I'm gonna use the global resistance in here, which by the way is not the full global one. This is the global one, 1, 2, 3, 4, with 86 being there, a heavy resistance. but let me abuse the use of global, and I'm gonna call this the global, and we could be forming some sort of local in here that we could be using for potentially doing something like this, and then breaking out first here, and then later on, maybe in January or later this year, having another attempt to hit those highs. Bear in mind that 100K could be just this bounce in there. We don't need to go to 86 now, RSI, to hit 100K. And if you don't believe that, let me show you the reverse RSI. At the moment that 86, which is the global resistance that we just left, is located at 130K almost. And the lower we are going now, the higher is our next target, if we have the opportunity of meeting for a fifth time the resistance of the whole bull market on the daily. Pretty cool. You can see that the cross-fee ratio is still very heated in here. We have had these visits to the red line just 4 times, and now with this area in here, that will be the 5th time in the bull market. On the 4-hour, we're doing great progress in cooling down the cross-fee ratio, getting very close to the green, which might offer now that opportunity of that cat bounce that we're gonna talk about in the rest of the video. Because not everything is bad, okay? We broke this resistance, but this support, but this is the 4-hour time frame. And I think, as I say, we could be getting very close to hitting that red line and start seeing some dead cat bounces, which are tradable because we are in a bull market, we are in November, and we haven't broken any huge structure in this rally. So what I'm trying to tell you is that the trend is still our friend. Extreme greed now is at 79. Yesterday I was wrong. I was saying that 80 is the limit to be extreme greed, but I think it's 75. So we still have 4 more points to go and still be in extreme greed. We have here the golden cell that print on this candle, and if this was all the drawdown, that can happen in a bull market. It happened in October in here, and we didn't have almost any drawdown. This one in here was a great warning cell because it flagged 8 months of sideways. In a bull market, that is a pretty decent performance for the signal, but this one was really bad. The MACD hasn't confirmed yet a bearish cross because yesterday, if you look at the right hand side of my screen, we closed the day with almost 7K with the MACD and the signal 63.98. So today, actually, we closed the day like that, 64.86, 64.15. So the cross was very close, but not confirmed. So today we could be confirming that cross, and you can see that the histogram has gone into the red. We were monitoring this move down in here and saying that 2-3 days it can happen, and it did happen. Or I'm tempted to say that it's very low likely that we can undo this at this point in time. It's just too pronounced, the two MAs against each other. On the Big Whale Explorer, I want to show you a magnifier glass of all this area in here so you get something to compare with. In March, the distributions were huge. These spikes in here contributed to that. In May, distributions again pretty big. In here we have consecutive milder distributions, but overall in total it still gave us a red. Right now we are kind of in orange, because there is tons of small tiny inflows that it feels almost like they want people not to notice. At the same time, we have here some big withdrawals, which is actually bullish. But let's compare these apples with apples and pears with pears. These are 42,003 candles up, and in here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 candles in the region of the 44K. So overall, our stochastic is pointing up, indicating that the deposits are still winning overall, very humbly above the ratio of 1. We still want to come down, so we need the outflows to step in here and start balancing things towards withdrawals, which is the bullish thing to do at this time in the market for continuation to the upside. And I see people on Twitter freaking out with the long-term holders, including Glassnode, talking about this. But all I have to say is that during this rally in 2021, long-term holders were distributing into short-term holders. That is what they do in big rallies. So don't go to Twitter and accept that people tell you that because long-term holders have been selling, that is enough for the bull rally to end. If that was the case, it should have ended at 20K, at 30 or at 40, but actually they continued to sell and the thing went into 65K. Once these two curves went pretty flat, at that point the distribution was almost over and you just needed to hit it like this to get it to crash 50% down. If we were to repeat that past performance, we are far from that. So this by itself cannot really call for a top of a market. That's what I'm trying to say. And yesterday there was a party of long liquidations. You can see that we got almost everything in green and everything is above $1 million. We can even scroll down and find many more longs being liquidated up until 3 p.m. From 8 a.m. If we scroll down, we're going to find just tons of whales being liquidated. And it's very interesting because the liquidity ended at 95K in the short term. So you might argue, what's going on with your liquidity analysis? Because we went to 95K and now we are putting new lows and we seem to be going nowhere. There's no incentive in here. So apart from this 88.3, why are we coming down? And that's because you're looking just at the short term. The short term explained this one and it's not explaining this one. And I believe that what the market maker is doing in here is trying for the short term to trap as many shorts as possible. And I'm not talking necessarily about this area. This area is for later, potentially. I think they are trying to trap people and convince them to put their risk in this vicinity so they make a false move in here and then they hit them at 97, 98K. So let's leave that not confirmed as an hypothesis, as a forecast, but let's try to look for further evidence of that. In the longer term, if we zoom in here, we see the red. We still don't see any incentive in here. There's a little bit of liquidity at 91, but definitely 89 to 88 is much more attractive if this continues bleeding. My question is, can the price just go straight in here, or is it going to do some sort of dead cat bounce in there before potentially looking up for that level there, which coincides with the target of the hive. The hive is roughly 90 to 91K, the target. And here is the most significant alpha of the day, I think. We have shifted completely from a selling wall and from everybody wanting to short 100K, which you can see from the time we were at 95 all the way to almost being at 100K, there was a huge amount of ask liquidity. You can even compare it with the past times, and this one hits 0.22, but it remains there for a long time. So that was people wanting to offload their Bitcoin and entering in shorts. When we break the megaphone pattern in here, the two times we do that, we get kind of the opposite effect. We go almost into 0.33 in the current candle at 92.7 with that huge interest to buy this dip. And that is also supported but by what the volume profile is telling us with the point of control. Point of control, the definition is the most traded area. There are tons of orders in here in the past, and the forecast is that it's such an important level of interest that when the price is gonna come here, there will be tons of orders wanting to buy. Will it hold? We don't know, but they are gonna put a big battle there. So that is a point of interest for potentially myself included entering with a swing long, which if it failed, I could be adding more on the lower end with the expectation of seeing sort of heavy bounce. If we don't get the bounce here, we might get the bounce here. That's kind of the idea, and I might scale a 1-to-2 ratio in this vicinity. And the second most important alpha is the delta. The delta went from completely the opposite, being at 1.6 million, then it spent a few days at around 600 to 800,000, and now is well in the red with 600K negative, leaving now in the close proximity most of the liquidations to the upside. And that's why, guys, we are starting to increase the chances of a kick back up. The selling wall reduced from 300 million to 200 million yesterday. It's still 200 million from last night. It hasn't changed. The order book shows plenty of orders with interest to buy at 90K, the most traded area. That doesn't surprise me. You can also see that the order book, these actors in here decided that 85K was too low and they're chasing now the price, trying to get lucky to take this one instead, and they are scaling down towards 86K if it did a big move in here. So what they are currently expecting, and they can also be wrong, anyone can be wrong, is that the price could come here, get bought, but do a little bit of a wick and come back and close there and potentially start seeing some reversal. And I think that has a good chance of happening. I think it's tradable. And if we are wrong, I'm going to start thinking about my risk management in case we hit that 2 to 3% that it doesn't really hold in here and we continue bleeding into the lower end of our daily range from 91 to 81. We can also observe the delta on trading light that yesterday I was talking that we might have come to an end of our ascending channel in here from August into November. And now we have this sort of channel. Too early to say, this is just very speculative, but if this was correct at this very early stage, this also proves that this is a great area to enter long, not by the candle, but the surroundings of this area in this bubble could be really great. That for the price might mean something like this, our entry somewhere there, okay? Now we need to start doing the microscopic surgeon entry, sniper, whatever you want to call it, to try to find the best we can do for that entry, balancing the risk versus the reward. Guys, if you want to trade with an excellent exchange, go and look at the link in the description for Bybit. Using that link, you can unlock up to 30,000 in rewards if you open a new account, and you're going to get the lowest fees to trade with Bybit as well. I am currently also running this campaign with the exchange called Bluffing. The campaign ends on the 14th of December. Pretty much whatever you deposit or any small volume that you might generate is gonna give you a nice bonus. But the big upside of Bluffing, guys, is that you can trade anywhere in the world using leverage. You can deposit, withdraw crypto. You don't need VPN, you don't need KYC, and you can open as many accounts as you want with my link down in the description. One for trading alts, one for doing longs, one for doing shorts, whatever you want. If you have multiple emails, you can get multiple Bluffing accounts anyways. Remember that in the description I have all the products I use, including my own indicators. Most of them are on a huge sale. Even some that I don't include in the top link in the description for the Black Friday offers, but all of them are in Black Friday. Assume that, and using my link is gonna give you additional discounts. This is the time to get access to all the data to trade the rest of the bull market, I think. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.